Good morning, everyone. We came to the courthouse today to defend the United States Constitution, to defend democracy in America, and to defend what it means to be an American citizen. We are thrilled that the court saw the seriousness and the urgency of the complaint and request for a temporary restraining order brought by the state of Washington, Oregon, Arizona, and Illinois, and are thrilled that the judge issued a temporary restraining order directing the United States government to take no further action in enforcing and implementing the unconstitutional and un-American executive order attempting to eliminate birthright citizenship in America. This is step one, but to hear the judge from the bench say that in his 40 years as a judge, he has never seen something so blatantly unconstitutional sets the tone for the seriousness of this effort. I want to thank all of the men and women who put in hard work over the past year to prepare for something like this and who successfully argued the case today. We have an incredible team of men and women in the Attorney General's office in the state of Washington and working collaboratively with our colleagues across the country. We'll take your questions.
Nick, you heard the argument that you didn't need to do this right now, that this wasn't going to go into effect until next month. Why did you need the TRO today before the order actually went into effect?
Well, first and foremost, the judge obviously disagreed with that argument, setting the tone for the urgency. And as our team laid out in court, this order effectively forces states to prepare for the effective date of that order, has an impact now, and more importantly, created a cloud of uncertainty for children being born here and in Seattle, all across Washington, and all across the country. And so the urgency by which we moved was effective and appropriate and supported by the court.
Mr. Attorney General, what difference would it make if the substance of the order were passed by Congress and signed into law by the President?
Well, in order to amend the United States Constitution, there is a pretty well laid out process to do that. And I think what the order today reinforces is that no one individual, not even the President of the United States, can simply erase what it means to amend the Constitution and the process therein. If Congress wanted to move to take action and the states wanted to ratify something that amended the United States Constitution, they could certainly take that action. But I also think it's important to remind everyone that this amendment to our Constitution was put into effect in the wake of the most infamous United States Supreme Court decision in American history, the Dred Scott decision. It was put into effect to reaffirm what it means to be an American. And so that's why this case was so important, and that's why we had to act now.
Is this a nationwide order that you saw in this group?
This is a nationwide order. It essentially directs the United States government to take no further action in implementing the president's unconstitutional order. Sir. Well, we'll take one step at a time, but I see no reason why a court of appeals or even the United States Supreme Court would reach a different decision that was reached today. The Dred Scott decision was from, one of my smart, 57, there we go. Well, as we laid out today, so we moved for a temporary restraining order, which has a nationwide impact. The next step will be at a preliminary injunction, which will allow for more thorough briefing. The TRO that was issued today has a 14-day effective date. So for 14 days, the United States government can take no further action implementing or enforcing this order. Well, we will be back in court, as will many other people across the country.
Attorney General, can you talk about, because this order would expire before well, according to the government, before the executive order would actually take effect, why was this needed now? What are the immediate harms that are happening today?
Well, there are two principally for the states. I mean, the states would have to start working on the potential impact of that effective date now. We can't simply wait for 30 days to prepare for all of the changes that would happen to state government to recreate and re-implement these systems that are having dire financial and administrative impact on the states. But more broadly, this is about people. This is about people who the President of the United States was trying to deny their lawful right to be citizens. And babies are being born today, tomorrow, every day, all across this country. And so we had to act now to provide back to the status quo, back what has been the law of the land for generations, that you are an American citizen if you were born on American soil, period. Nothing that the president can do will change that.
Have you ever seen a judge kind of imply that the attorney shouldn't even be making the argument that he's making?
Well, I've been in court enough to see a lot of frustrated judges. and I've been in front of Judge Kunar before to see his frustration personally. But I think the words that he expressed and the seriousness that he expressed really just drove home that what we have been saying as state attorney generals for a very long time now, as we looked at the potential of this order, and since the order was issued. This is fairly obvious. This is fairly simple. This has been expressly determined by the United States Supreme Court, and Congress and multiple executives have looked at it and agreed. And so I was not surprised to see Judge Kunar sort of dismiss the absurdity of the order and the absurdity of the president's action.
Attorney General, it's already being made point online that the judge is a Reagan appointee. Do you make anything of the fact that the judge is a Reagan appointee who made this order today?
Well, look, we make our arguments based on the law and the merits and the facts. I try not to concern myself too much with who the judge is or what party was appointed them. But this is a Reagan appointee. He's been a jurist for 4 decades. He has seen arguments made by the Department of Justice many, countless times. So I'm thrilled that he made that decision and not too caught up on his appointing party.
Mr. Attorney General, are you coordinating with plaintiffs in other districts?
Well, we work collaboratively as state attorney generals across the country. And so I have been in constant communication with my Democratic attorney general colleagues across the United States. The team behind me and countless others in our office has been working collaboratively with other state attorney general staff members across the country, organizing and analyzing all the executive orders as they come in. So I'm really appreciative of the collaboration amongst many attorney generals across the country. We are not working with the private parties who have brought their own cases, but obviously the claims are very similar. We felt that Washington State had some unique interests at stake, and it is my job as the Attorney General of the state of Washington to defend not only the United States Constitution, but the Constitution of the state of Washington, and to protect our people. And so bringing a case with Oregon and Arizona and Illinois we thought was appropriate, but obviously working in collaboration with other states, and those cases will move forward as the days come. Well, first and foremost, I hope people are reassured that we will not shy away from taking on tough fights, that we will not shy away from taking action against illegal actions by the President of the United States or anyone else. This is step one. We have a long way to go. There are many other orders that are being issued by the President that will have potential impacts on people, but we are really relieved, frankly, that at least this court has seen the blatant unconstitutional action of this president, and now we're back to the status quo. We're back to the rule that has been the law of this land now for generations, that you are an American if you were born in the United States. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Grab this.
Everyone got what they need? And the meek little comm staff are making sure. Yeah, you're good? Hey, Mike, come.
Well, we're looking at all the orders as they come out to see if they're legal, if they're non-Washingtonians, if they have an impact here. I would not be surprised if we had future litigation going forward, but I don't know how many dozen executive orders he issued in the first couple of days. We've only challenged one, so we'll see as they go. Well, I think so. I mean, this case is getting at what it means to be an American. It's getting at how you define citizenship in the United States. It has tremendous impact on hundreds of thousands of babies that are going to be born this year. So certainly